What if I told you that almost everything you believe about lawn care is wrong? You might be wasting time, money, and even hurting your lawn by following advice that's just plain false. We're about to bust the 7 biggest myths in American lawn care. These are the rules everyone follows, but they could be the very reason you're not getting that perfect, lush, green carpet you've been dreaming of. I see it all the time. Homeowners spending their weekends sweating it out, trying so hard, but their lawn just looks sad. Patchy spots, stubborn weeds, and a color that's more yellow than green. You follow all the popular tips, you buy the expensive products, but nothing seems to work. It's frustrating, right? You start to wonder if a great lawn is just for the pros or for people with unlimited budgets. The truth is, the lawn care industry is filled with old wives' tales and marketing gimmicks that have been passed down for generations. These myths have become so common that we accept them as fact without ever questioning them. But today, we are doing exactly that. We are going to expose these myths one by one and replace them with proven, simple strategies that actually work. By the end of this video, you'll know the secrets to a healthier, greener lawn with less effort. Let's dive right into myth number 1, and it's a big one. You need to water your lawn every single day. This is probably the most common mistake I see. It sounds logical, right? More water equals a greener lawn. But it's completely backward. Watering your lawn daily, especially for short periods, is one of the worst things you can do. It encourages shallow root growth. Think about it. If the grass gets a little sip of water every day right at the surface, why would its roots bother digging deep into the soil? They have no incentive. These shallow roots make your lawn weak and incredibly vulnerable. The moment a heat wave hits or you miss a day of watering, your lawn starts to stress out and turn brown almost immediately. It becomes dependent on that daily sprinkle, like a caffeine addict needing their morning coffee. So, what's the right way? It's all about deep and infrequent watering. Instead of a light sprinkle every day, you should water your lawn just 1 to 2 times per week, but for a longer period. You want that water to soak deep into the soil, at least 6 inches down. This forces the roots to chase the water, growing deeper and stronger. A deep root system makes your lawn incredibly resilient. It can find moisture even when the surface is dry, making it much more drought tolerant and less susceptible to disease and pests. A good rule of thumb is to provide your lawn with about 1 inch of water per week, including rainfall. Use a simple rain gauge to measure it. Deep, infrequent watering is the foundation of a truly healthy lawn. Okay, let's move on to myth number 2. Cutting your grass super short will make it look neater and you'll have to mow less often. This is called scalping, and it's a lawn's worst nightmare. I get the appeal. You want that tight, golf course look, but your backyard isn't a putting green, and mowing it that short is incredibly stressful for the grass. Each blade of grass is like a tiny solar panel. It uses its surface area to capture sunlight for photosynthesis, the process that creates its food. When you cut it too short, you're drastically reducing its ability to feed itself. You're literally starving your lawn. This weakens the grass, making it more vulnerable to everything: weeds, diseases, pests, you name it. Plus, scalping the lawn exposes the soil to the harsh sun. This not only dries out the soil faster, but also creates the perfect opportunity for weed seeds to germinate. Weeds love sunlight. When the grass is too short to shade the soil, it's like sending weeds a written invitation to a party. The ideal mowing height for most common American lawn grasses is actually around 3 to 4 inches. Taller grass has more leaf surface to absorb sunlight. It develops deeper, stronger roots. And the taller blades provide natural shade for the soil, which helps retain moisture and prevents weed seeds from sprouting. So, raise that mower deck. Mowing high might mean you have to mow a little more often, maybe once a week during peak season, but the payoff is a much healthier, thicker, and more resilient lawn that naturally chokes out weeds. Now for myth number 3. If you have weeds, the only solution is to blast them with chemical weed killers. We've all seen the ads. Just spray this magic potion and all your weed problems will disappear. While herbicides have their place, relying on them as your first and only line of defense is a losing battle. It's a reactive approach, not a proactive one. You're treating the symptom, not the cause. The real reason you have weeds is that your lawn isn't healthy enough to fight them off on its own. A thick, dense lawn is the best weed killer there is. It leaves no room and no sunlight for weeds to get established. Constantly spraying chemicals can also have long-term negative effects. It can harm the beneficial microorganisms in your soil that are essential for a healthy turf ecosystem. Over time, It can weaken your grass, making it even more dependent on chemical treatments. It's a vicious cycle. The best long-term strategy for weed control is to focus on lawn health. This goes back to our first 2 points. Water deeply and infrequently. Mow high. Another key practice is overseeding in the fall. Spreading new grass seed over your existing lawn helps fill in any thin or bare patches, making your turf thicker and more competitive against weeds. Aerate your lawn once a year to reduce soil compaction, allowing air, water, and nutrients to reach the roots. A healthy, dense lawn will naturally crowd out most weeds, reducing your need for chemicals to almost zero. Think of it as building your lawn's immune system. Let's tackle myth number 4. You should bag your grass clippings every time you mow. The thinking here is that leaving clippings on the lawn will create thatch, which is that layer of dead organic matter that can suffocate your grass. This myth is only partially true, and it misses the bigger picture. Those grass clippings are not trash. They are free, natural fertilizer. They are packed with nitrogen and other essential nutrients that your lawn needs to thrive. When you leave the clippings on the lawn, they quickly decompose and return those valuable nutrients back to the soil. This practice is called grass cycling, and it's one of the easiest and most beneficial things you can do for your lawn. It's estimated that grass cycling can provide up to 25% of your lawn's total fertilizer needs for the year. That means less money spent on fertilizer and a happier lawn. The key is to not let the clippings clump up. If you're mowing regularly and only removing the top third of the grass blade, the clippings will be small and will disappear into the lawn within a day or two. The only time you might consider bagging is if the grass is excessively long and wet, or if you have a serious disease problem that you don't want to spread. Otherwise, ditch the bag. Let those clippings feed your lawn. It's the ultimate recycling program. All right, myth number 5. You can plant any type of grass seed and it will grow. People walk into a home improvement store, grab the cheapest bag of seed or the one with the prettiest picture, and expect a perfect lawn. This is a recipe for disaster. Not all grass is created equal. There are cool season grasses and warm season grasses, and they are built for very different climates. Cool season grasses like Kentucky bluegrass, fescue, and ryegrass thrive in the northern parts of the country where summers are milder and winters are cold. They do most of their growing in the spring and fall. Warm season grasses, like Bermuda, Zoysia, and St. Augustine, love the heat. They are perfect for the southern states. They grow vigorously in the summer and typically go dormant and turn brown in the winter. Planting the wrong type of grass for your region is like trying to grow a palm tree in Alaska. It's just not going to work. The grass will struggle constantly. It will be weak, prone to disease, and will likely die out, leaving you with a patchy, frustrating mess. Before you buy a single seed, you need to identify your climate zone. You also need to consider your specific conditions. How much sun does your lawn get? Is it a high-traffic area? Is the soil sandy or clay-like? Answering these questions will help you choose the right grass species and even the right cultivar within that species that is perfectly suited for your yard. A little research upfront will save you a world of headache later. Coming in at number 6 is the myth that spring is the best time to seed your lawn. This feels so intuitive. Spring is the season of new life and growth, so it must be the perfect time to plant grass, right? For most of the country, this is actually wrong. While you can get grass to grow in the spring, it's a really tough time for new seedlings. They have to compete with an explosion of fast-growing weeds. Crabgrass, in particular, germinates in the spring and can easily choke out your delicate new grass. Then, just as the new grass is trying to get established, the brutal summer heat arrives. Young grass with its shallow root system is extremely vulnerable to heat and drought stress. You'll have to water constantly just to keep it alive, and you'll likely still lose a good portion of it. For cool season grasses, which cover the majority of the US, the absolute best time to seed is in the late summer or early fall, around late August to mid-September. Why? The soil is still warm from the summer, which is perfect for germination, but the air is starting to cool down. Most importantly, the annual weeds from the summer are dying off, so your new grass has much less competition. The seedlings have the entire pleasant fall season and the following mild spring to grow strong and develop a deep root system before they have to face the stress of their first summer. Seeding in the fall sets your lawn up for long-term success. And finally, we arrive at our 7th and final myth. More fertilizer is always better. If a little fertilizer makes the grass green, then a lot of fertilizer will make it even greener, faster. This more is better mindset is a huge mistake and can seriously damage your lawn. Over-fertilizing, especially with high nitrogen synthetic fertilizers, is like giving your lawn a steroid overdose. Yes, you might get a quick burst of lush, dark green growth on top, but that rapid top growth comes at the expense of root development. The plant is putting all its energy into growing leaves, not roots. This leads to a weak, shallow-rooted lawn that is more susceptible to drought, disease, and insect problems. Even worse, excess fertilizer doesn't just stay in your lawn. The salts in synthetic fertilizers can actually burn the grass blades, leaving yellow or brown stripes and patches across your yard. And what the lawn can't absorb gets washed away by rain or irrigation, running into our storm drains and eventually into our rivers and lakes. This contributes to water pollution and harmful algae blooms. The correct approach is to fertilize responsibly. Get a soil test. This is the single most important thing you can do. A soil test tells you exactly what nutrients your soil is lacking, so you can apply only what's needed. It takes the guesswork out of the equation. Follow the application rates on the product label. They are there for a reason. And consider using slow-release organic fertilizers. They release nutrients gradually over time, feeding the lawn steadily without that sudden, stressful surge of growth. Fertilize to feed the soil and the roots, not just the blades. So there you have it. 7 of the biggest myths that are holding your lawn back. Let's quickly recap. Stop watering every day and start watering deeply and infrequently. Stop scalping your lawn and start mowing high. Stop relying only on chemicals and start building a dense, healthy turf that fights its own battles. Stop bagging your clippings and let them feed your soil. Stop grabbing any old seed and choose the right grass for your specific climate. Stop seeding in the spring and start seeding in the fall for best results. And finally, stop over-fertilizing and start feeding your lawn responsibly based on what it actually needs. Breaking these old habits might feel weird at first, but I promise you, your lawn will thank you. By working with nature instead of against it, you can build a lawn that is not only beautiful but also stronger, more resilient, and much easier to maintain in the long run. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more lawn care tips.